What's up, everyone? I'm your caster today, Renegade. Welcome, welcome. Young, old, short or tall? The OSC. Young, old, short or tall? The OSC Masters Cup. In 32. Right on cue. Timers have gone off. Check out that match arena code MC132. Enter an entire US dollar to the prize pool of this tournament. In the top right corner, as the pink Zerg. First up today, it's Rise. And in the bottom left, as the red Terran, it's James. What are the stakes? Well, there is a percentage distribution for a top four. Split the prize pool. One lucky participant is going to win $10 just for being through a totally RNG draw. And of course, OSC points all around. Now, both players have opted for some non-standard builds. Rise went pool first into Roach Warren. Get out 4 roaches. James opened double barracks at the front of his base. No Reaper, no anything. It's double barracks. Blind, 2 racks. Rise. 3 Ravagers. 2. A bunker is being built on the high ground here for GP James. It's only halfway finished, but I think it is going to finish, and it is going to secure the high ground. However, that's not going to matter so much. There's actually not too much on the high ground. Of course, Marauder Slow is under development at that 3rd barracks. But the 2 barracks on the ground are going to have to be lifted. One of them now. The second one is in danger of burning down. Rise's Overlord was not in position to find high ground vision. Finally is. And James, thanks to losing all his supply depots, is under a supply block. So many SCVs are being picked off. Absolutely a rollicking start to this tournament. We're only in game number 1. Not even in game number 3 of the first series. This is just game number 1. Game heart is off, so but about 10 SCVs have been picked off. A large amount of the bio has gone down as well. There's barracks, several supply depots. Oh, James walks in the file. James is moving out. He realizes how low health some of these Ravagers are, but he can't quite close the distance to get the shots off. Kill the Ravagers. Okay, he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. In exchange for 1 Marauder. Pretty value trades. But over the long haul, Terran hasn't gotten very many value trades, and Rise has dictated the game. Now, this entire time, as that he's been sieging up the Terran. He has gotten the second hatch thrown down. Had a bit of a sneeze. And he's gotten the lair, gotten the spire. It's not going to be a ton of muta, but like, look at what James has. It is building 2 Reapers for some reason, which are not going to help him against the Mutalisk. They're coming across the map at all. Hasn't taken the opportunity to scout what the Zerg's up to a very long time, and I think this might spell the end for our Terran friend. WW is called. In the top left corner, Simulacrum as the Blues dropping a pull first. It's Bly. The bottom right corner as the Pink Zerg rise. Both players going for aggression / safety. Why did I say that? Oh, the best offense or the best defense is a good offense. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Rise is pulling all the boys. Looks like it's just 2, but he did a mineral stack. Okay, I think he must... Wait a minute. I'm not sure what the efficacy of making it look like there's drones is. Honestly, it's just not in my game knowledge. A little bit confused by that. Rise is moving in. Go, spines are sure to be dropped quite soon. He's not even bothering, he's just fighting with the Lings. I don't think he has enough here. Why did he do this? GG. In the bottom left corner of Everdream, as the Blues rise. In the top right corner, as the Pink Zerg rise. Both players, again, going for a pull first. This time Rise is going to drop a hatch instead of stacking it. Hi Pearl, hi Dead Tomato King. I love it when laugh. Dead Tomato King. Fascinating. Is he undead? I don't know. Or dive. So, Bly did a gasless first. Rise. To pull first. Cancel Blink. Oh, because counting the Lings. He just wanted the 100 mineral back. 100 mineral back to drop a spine. He pulled a minimal amount of drones to defend this. But it looks like it's going to work. It's very effective. Hatchery, actually. Bly committed a little bit more, but he is droning behind this. Throw down a second base. The queen gets surrounded on the ramp. That's pretty big. She overextended outside of the spine range. Speaking of spines.
Meow.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Chess422. Much love. And Rise loses the hatch. And he's losing the war. I thought he had enough here. I really do. But losing the queen started like this cascading effect. Where he just lost more. And Bly's just gonna ring around the rosy with these. He knows he's not getting attacked, right? As long as they're following his lane. And the second they leave, look at this. Bly immediately starts up 20 lings of his own. And he's going to defend his aggression from the quite handily. It is speedlings or slowlings, but Bly is going to be fine. In the top left corner of Nightshade, as the Blue Zerg, it's 3D Clans B. In the bottom right, playing for the clan formerly known as Extra One Gaming. It's tagged once. So, first thing to note is B is channeling his inner Bly and dropping a proxy hatch for the lulz, for the meme. This Bly, we followed B's quick run up to the semifinals, so he is waiting there for us. We're now hopping one notch up in the bracket. So B is at the beginning of his tournament run. Tagged once, has won a single series, moved up to face B, waiting for him. And now we're going to see which of these two players on to the round of 8, which, no, their next opponent prevail, or if they will semifinals. B getting up a Roach Warrant. Proxy hatch has finished. B is going to stack his larva for that Roach Warrant. Could have 3 as soon. There we go. It's maybe 4 or 5 seconds early. The idea is there. Tagged once, scouts. Uh-oh, he doesn't have a second base. Oh god. Throws down a bunker immediately. Starts a second barracks and a factory. There are 4 roaches into get the proxy back at home. Reaper arrives, but doesn't win on the drone line. He could have killed a drone in the time it was sitting there, but I'm sure tagged once is really focusing on defending this oncoming push, and it's going to be really hard for him to defend at this point. He just doesn't have any. The Reaper isn't even here to help. Like, I know that sounds dumb, but when you're playing with this few tool as the Terran, that Reaper is half your army right now. That Reaper could be tossing down grenades, delaying Ravager shots. Annoying B, but it's not even. The one green loses his bunker. Bile picks off tons of SCVs. GG's. In the top right corner of Everdream, as the Blue Zerg gets 3D. And in the bottom left, as the pink Terran, it's tagged once. And East just dropped another proxy hatch. I'll do it again! I'm crazy! Can make 3 Ravagers! Send them into your base. What you gonna do about it? This is the exact same build we saw in the last game. Third player. Tagged has gone for CC first, and you'd think, usually when I see Bly do this build and whatnot, he scouts to the third, like, the Terran in game number 2, send out an SCV scout to the third just to make sure this isn't happening. Even check the high yield. There's a variation on this build where you just take the proxy hatch down here, send out 4 drones, and take the gas. And then continue spam roaches. But Bly is... I want to call him Bly. He's not Bly, he's B. He's just doing a Bly build. But yeah, 4 roaches. Okay, 3 at the proxy. No. Wait, no, it was 4. Wait a minute. That's illegal. No, he was totally building. Okay, never. Right there. Literally in the... Literally staring. And... yeah, I mean... he connects the bile with 7 SCVs. Morphs the injured Ravager. The Cocoon, Snipes, Reaper. Takes out the Mule. Takes out... no. Tagged, dodged that time, but it's too late. 4 and more roaches. Screaming out. GG is called. And 3DB takes the series. In the top right corner, as our blue Zerg. It's 3DB. And in the bottom left, it's Lyra. Thank God. Thank God they make the barcodes clan tag their names to the barcode. I'd be so lost. I'd be done. My short-term memory is garbage, guys. Look at this, Chad Terran! Immediately checking to see if B is throwing out a proxy hatch. Factory. It's thrown down here for Hero. Up his timely manner. Get that Terran. 3DB. making the ritualistic form. But Lero here has opened Marine. He's gone Overlord. But twas unsuccessful. Probably should go Overlord hunting again. That Overlord is within range of safety. I think Lero's just trying to play an anti-3D build here. For what he thinks is an anti-3D build. But, like, 3DB can totally play a macro game against Terrence. Like, like, he is a very skilled player. And I'm gonna be honest, I will, search up that Wikipedia on Lero, but I'm not familiar with this player. To my sensibility. See if we can figure it out. And we are going to see a ban for Terran. Whether or not he fall. Okay, he is gonna fall. Four Hellions move out. Aggro the Zerg. They're gonna get an active tuner here. It's quite nice. B saw everything he needed. This tells the whole story to our Zerg. He is going to be able to extrapolate, even though he didn't. Oh wait, no, he totally just actually sees the CC in the wall with his Overlord. Wow, wow, way to screw up the narrative, Renegade. Yeah, no, like, he's gonna totally know how to react to this. The Terran is fine. This build is gonna be good enough that it can survive scouting. Basically, Lero just wants to feel a bit choppy on the mic. Interesting. I'll take a look at that in between games. I've changed nothing with my setup, so that's weird. These Banshees get a little bit of harass on the Queen. Hellions drift into the mineral line to get their own damage done. Nine drones in total have fallen. But as dank as that might seem, B is still ahead in economy. He's still going to be doing quite fine. And he's going to go into Lair. He does have an infestation pit out. So the picture this is painting for me right now is swarm hosts. It totally could... Oh, no, never mind. He went for a hive. He totally... Why did I say Lair? Why I do that? I know, because I'm tilted about my mic being choppy. Blame it on the mic. In the meantime, Lero is happy he's gotten his third up. He, going to be a tad bit supply blocked. B is finally going to lose this Overlord. Down it goes. And we're going to have a stalemate for just a little bit. Are we, though? Yeah. I can't imagine that B is going to keep moving forward with Banes. I think he wants to pull back to creep. He doesn't want these Hellions to out-micro him and gun down his Banelings. Would be really unfortunate. So, Calm has hit the map. He's just cleaning up rocks, the natural enemy of the Zerg. Lero has gotten out a flotilla of Banshees. He's going to sweep right into the... And he will get the kill on this Hydra Den. That's a nice little find. So, that, of course, is going to nerf his ability to get Lurker. Oh, poor Hydra popped. He needs to make them into Lurkers right away. He didn't. So, he's just stuck with, like, a couple unupgraded Hydra. He needs to remake the Den. Yeah, he doesn't have any Hydra upgrades out. +2 is going to be good for the Zerg. However, the Terran is pretty much, he's going to be okay. Like, he's not too far behind in upgrades. Those were some pretty good yoinks from our Zerg. He still has plenty of energy on the Vipers. And he has just picked the Terran apart bit by bit. That was a massive fungal on those Hellions, and it looks like he's gonna break through. Not right now, I guess, but only because he doesn't want to. Wait, did he make... Oh, he lost the hide. Wait, yeah, he's... No, is he... No, he's not gonna lose the Hydra Den. It's a nice transfuse. Lurker upgrades are finally on the way. And, so are the first Lurkers. Well, the first Lurker, anyway. Parasitic Bomb is dropped right in the middle of the Banshee Clouds. Barely micros against it. Well, I mean, he microed against it. It was just way too late at that point. Banelings clear up the SCVs. That allows the Hydra to take out the Planetary. In the meantime, Lero is massacring the 5th base of 3DB. 20 SCVs have fallen for Lero, though, and I think he's taken the worst of these trades. He seems to agree. GG is called. B takes... In the top left corner of Nightshade as the Blue Zerg. It's B. In The bottom right corner, as the red Terran, it's Lero. Lero put up a good fight in game number 1, but B's abducts were so crisp, his fungals so on point. It was too much for Lero to overcome. He is opening hatch first again, and it is located in the proper location. Not at his opponent's third. Is the point I'm trying to make there. I like how far away the SCV is when it tries to build the command center. Look at it go. It's not the drill isn't even touching anything. There it is. That looks a little more convincing. No, it's like 3 feet away again. That's absolutely incredible. That's incredible. He got out his third on time. I mean, the Reaper scouts this, and that's the important part. It doesn't really matter if he gets more done or not. Of course, Lero would find that to be quite an enjoyable experience if he could, but unlikely to happen. He does a good job of defending his creep tumor. Or Terran. It's getting out Hellions for some harass, getting out some for defense. And it's going to be a Viking opener out of the starport. B, with Overlord speed, finished to bolster his forces, is going to get a full scout on everything he needs, is going to lose both scouting Overlords, going down to Marine. Being lost somewhere over here. Do this Viking. Look, I'll even prove it. Bum, bum, bum. 1 kill. Saw this meme Reddit the other day. Somehow it was allowed, even though, you know, low effort posts aren't allowed on Reddit. Anyway. And it had like the Rise of Skywalker where Rey shoots down 3 TIE fighters at once, and it's like the first Viking that you make in a TVZ. And it just had like the word Overlords below the TIE fighters. I thought I gave it 1 ha. But yeah, this Hellbat push is really mean from Lero. However, I think B has enough to hold. Those were almost 3 tremendous Baneling hits, but only 2 of them really connected incredibly well. Another transfuse is just a couple seconds away for B. The transfuse isn't even going to matter. Microed so well. Everything goes down here for the Terran, and I don't think Micro did enough damage. Now going to be down 16 workers. Even with mules, that still puts him behind the Zerg. I think that... I don't know if I want to call that an overextension. I'm going to get out of here with... But, no, that attack wasn't really going to work unless Lero left his wall down or just ceased Hellion production for some reason while he was attacking. Which, of course, he did not. Did neither of them. So, B's back home to defend. Banshee cloaks and moves in on the mineral line. Hyperflight rotors have started. 0. It's going into mag field accelerators as well. That, of course, is going to Cyclone to fight toe-to-toe with the Zerg. B, on his part, finishing his infestation pit. Probably going to move into Hive Tech shortly. In fact, he cancels the Queen in the Hive Tech. The Hellbat morph means the outermost ring of Hellbats will die. But, Lero should win this fight, right? I think he over-microed. He needed to just, like, stay against the wall and count his blessings, but B took a lot of lane losses there. However, I think he's going to be okay with trading out Zerglings for Hellbats. I think that's something B will be perfectly fine with. Bada-bum, bum, bada-bum, bum, bada-bum. Our Terran is getting out his vehicle plating as well as weapons. B's going into Vipers. Lero's moving out his 4th. And we're basically setting up the end game here. Okay, he's going for a 5th and a 6th. This is really expensive. I don't know that he's going to be able to secure a 5th and a 6th by the time they're finished either. That's a lot of surface area to cover. So he either has to expand up this way, down this way, or a combination of the two, putting 1 CC here, 1 CC here. Could also float them out to, like, here-ish, and make them into defensive planetaries, or throw a defensive planetary here, something like that. Speak of the devil, there's the first planetary morph now. B is in a positioning war with the blue flames. Lero gets cornered. He gets taken out. B is going up to 92 workers. Okay, so this is one of a couple schools of thought when engaging a mech Terran. There's a school of thought where you go up to like 75 workers, 70 to 75 workers. Well, it's more like 73 to 75. You really want to be close to that 75 number. And you get a bigger army, and you try to take out the mech Terran at once at a really good Roach Ravager, Bane Timeling, something like that. Or you do this Hydra Lurker Viper style, or one of a couple other styles that aren't going to be pertinent to the match, where you just keep crashing into the mech Terran. You just keep trading out. You keep 90 worker economy. And try to rely on this energy to make up for the tinier army that you have. That was a really great parasitic bomb. Zero has more than enough Vikings to take down the Vipers if they aren't careful, but I guess he doesn't anymore. As another tremendous parasitic bomb runs its course. The tanks are yoinked into the Hydra, and B is just going to keep being aggressive and trading out his Hydra as best he can, because look at this incredible bank behind this. 16 more Hydra, 3 more Vipers on the way. That's so many Vipers. That's a ridiculous number of Vipers. GG is called. Top right corner of Eternal Empire. It's your blue Terran. Oh, wait, that's right. Kelazur. In the bottom left. As your red Terran. Give it up. For Cure. I know, I'm lame. I know. I just wanted to try that. I don't know how I feel about the circle intro. Wow! Wow, guys, look at this command center! Yeah, I don't think that's my style. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I don't know. Probably. Yeah, so Kelazur is opening with a proxy to Rax. He sent out 2 SCVs. Here, it's totally gonna scout this immediately. Going to have plenty of time to prepare a defense. Rip. This barracks does finish. Both SCVs softened up. You're not even attempt to build or anything crazy. It's just gonna be solid Reaper opener from Kelazur. Wow. Kelazur hops into the main. He hops out of the main. He hops into the main. Yeah, almost loses a Reaper, but almost doesn't quite count. Now he does lose a Reaper. And Cure has defended. It was a really defense from Cure. Kira's turn to get some damage done with the Reaper, and there's 2 SCVs ready for destruction. They both go down right away. Kira isn't wasting any time. Engages Blue Terran directly. Ends up with 3. I think he overextended there. I think he had some positive kill, but that Reaper put in work, man. 4 kills. Pelizzer has continued to pump out Reapers of his own, though. Raising the count 5. There's 6. Pelizzer floats a Rax into the main for the scout. He's gonna go home with most of his... is he though? No, he's splitting off his see if it's coming. But will he spot the Banshee? It looks like it's gonna be a no. F's in the chat for scouting barracks. Pelizzer is getting up his 3rd CC. Yeah, he drops an auto turret to defend against the Banshee. That's not going to work. 2 Cyclones will, but 10 SCVs were lost in exchange for that Banshee's life. And you don't want to be down 10 workers in a mirror matchup. That's no good. Cure repositions his army. He's not going for an attack, just securing this location for when the orbital finishes and he can move it out. Pelizzer goes on the attack. The auto turret gets gunned down right away. The Raven takes a couple ticks of damage. And Kalizzer's trying to figure out what he wants to do himself. Another 4 SCVs go down. An auto turret, 5 SCVs, 6 SCVs, a delay on the factory, 7 SCVs. It has been an SCV massacre for the Blue Terran. Oh man, see, it looked like that was going to be a good Reaper grenade, but Kelizzer just rallies a Cyclone right into the army of Cure, and Kelizzer is getting closer and closer to being backed into a corner. He's bleeding off 1 unit at a time. Here, he doesn't have enough to just man mode the defenses of Kelliger, but what he's done here is pushed Kelliger slowly but surely back home, and here is going to threaten this third location. There's already a siege tank here, which means that Cure isn't going to be able to position his tanks where he wants to, which is going to be like right in this area. He's limited in what he can do. The scouting barracks is enough to provide air vision for a little while at least. That means 2 of the Vikings go down, and that means these 2 remaining Vikings don't have enough. Well, one of the Vikings is injured, and that means that Cure can't engage Kelliger in the air right now. Here performs a double drop in the Nat of Kelliger. Eleven SCVs have fallen. I mean, Kier will lose all these Marines, but I think that he's going to be fine. He's still so far ahead in economy. He's about to finish a 4th base. And Kier's showing a lot of restraint. A lesser Terran would have thrown like 3 armies into the tank line of Kelliger. Not so with Kier. He's just gaining ground inch by inch. Maintaining map control. Pushing Kelliger farther and farther back. He thought about moving in there, but look how cautious he's. Like, nah, I can't engage that. Crazy. Cure is going to get even farther ahead in upgrades because of this economic discrepancy. Kelliger just hasn't had the cash flow to keep up with his red opponent. Kelliger is going to try a different angle. With 4 tanks stacked here, plus the Liberator's now out, I don't know that he's going to be able to... You know what? He has a significant amount of bio mixed in. Maybe. The Liberator Siege is going to save Kelliger's hopes of taking a 4th. Marines can't quite engage from that angle. CC has lumbered its way over. Kier has failed at his campaign. He's succeeded also. What do I mean by that? Well, no, he didn't stop Kelliger from taking a 4th, but he heavily delayed it. This base has been up and mining for nigh on 2.5 minutes. The worker count has evened, but Cure is going to be up a base yet again. Kelliger actually wins the air battle. Kelliger is he's struggling to maintain this fourth. Or rather, he's maintaining the fourth, but struggling to mine off of it. He's continually having to pull the SCVs. He has gotten a radar tower up, so he's going to be able to see the little blips that represent Kira's army, drop scans on it to identify the units and engage it how he wants. I like the little bit of harass with the lock-ons. Kira is very clearly trying to get to the high ground again. And let's see, does he have the Air Force to be able to break Kelliger? Okay, it's going to be about 13 Viking against... Oh, yeah, no. Kira wins this easily. Those Cyclones sure would have been a big help while Kelliger was losing all his Phoenix. Kelliger isn't messing around. He's going directly into triple pumping Thors. And... Kira is a little bit behind in the resources lost. Let's see how it evens out after its engagement. Yeah, so Kira keeps trying to get aggro on the base, and he's taking the raids because he's moving into tanks, right? Because he's moving into defending aircraft. I kind of like this play from Kelliger poking out with the battle mech. It's not going to be successful ultimately, at least in that engagement, because of the planetary holding down the SCV line. At the 5th of Cure, Cure's taken his 6th. He has 2 spare orbitals. Kelliger just with the 1 spare command center that isn't even finished. And what Cure kind of has that Kelliger does not, other than decent upgrades, is security, right? If Kelliger felt comfortable, okay, well, commentary isn't even needed. Cure is going to take game number 1. In the top left corner, as the blue Terran, it's Kelliger. And in the bottom right, as the red Terran, it's Cure. Okay, Kelliger's trying a proxy Rax again. Was unsuccessful in the previous game. The last game was kind of long, so it might a little bit difficult to remember, but he opened 2 Rax Reaper last game, and given the refinery, it's going to be 2 Rax Reaper this game. Cure found it quite easily on Eternal Empire. Is that going to hold true a second time on Nightshade? The tension is building. It's going to be 2 Kelliger Reapers facing down 1 Cure Reaper. That is, if Cure even keeps his Reaper some reasonable distance away from his home. Okay, he is going to keep it at home to defend. And Kelter a little bit to go in. So he's going to have to contend with a Marine as well as the defending Reaper. Cure proxies his own building, and it's going to be a starport. And I thought, you know, like on paper, Cure was supposed to lose that engagement, but hot dog, yeah, he won that battle hard. Cure's Proxy Liberator is going to hit so quickly. Helliger is rushing to build a factory, but a Cyclone is a long way away. And so is anything that shoots up for Terran. He scouts this. But, like, what can he do? You know? His barracks are on the other side of the map. I guess he's going to get out a Marine, but Marine's going to take a while to kill a Liberator. And it's going to take a while to get home. Cure's also moving out with ground forces. Oh no. Helliger bleeds out another Reaper. And another one. And another one. GG! As Cure takes the Series 2 up. In the top right corner of Everdream, as the Blue Zerg, is Clan 3D's B. And in the bottom left, as our Red Zerg, it's Bly. This is our second semifinals. B and Bly both went hatch first. I'm pretty excited to see it out. I think they're pretty much on the same level. I think it's going to be an even fight. I think we're going to go to game 3. I think we're going to see some third bases this time around, but I feel like each player is going to try to pull first at least one. And I think it might get weird. I think we might have at least one weird game. Given the reputations of both players, might see a display or, you know, something like that, something to that order. There's our third bases from both players. Look at these caster calls, man. Y is going to be first aggressor. He's going to win this fight, too. He's even going to win this fight. Yeah, he has 6 slings, but his opponent's slings are damaged than his. So, something that just happened there. Bly used the mineral patches and some very minuscule micro to save his heavily injured Zergling, because otherwise he would have lost the engagement. B is actually going to lose a link. Bly finally bleeds off a link. And B has the upper hand. It's going to be a mix of lings and drones for Bly. Unfortunately, he killed that drone, the scouting ling, just a second too late. So he did totally get called out. Bly already has this hatch down to half health. Is he gonna win? No, he's not. B actually demolishes him. The reinforcements will turn the tide of battle in his favor for a brief moment. But our two players have diverged in tech. So B is going for a lair. And +1. Bly has not invested his gas in tech. Bly has simply invested his gas to pure roach. He's going to sack all his zerglings to clear up as many defenses as they can trade out for. While the hammer of the roaches begins to pound on B's door. B's own roaches pop out of their eggs just in time to join the defense. However, the numbers are on Bly's side. B also canceled +1 to be able to afford all these defensive roaches. So Bly caused a little bit of damage there. Numbers did swing into B's favor. Bly continued to engage for some reason. B is a philanthropist. He's investing in infrastructure. He's investing in technology. That's not what a philanthropist is. Venture capitalist? Is that a good analog? I don't know. Anyway, the point is he's investing in big tech. He's going for speed. He's going for Aspire. Bly, though, due to forcing the cancel on +1 from B so he could afford defensive roaches, is going to have the earlier upgrade, which of course means his roaches are going to be stronger in any engagement with B's roaches. And that means he can fight while down in numbers a little bit if he needs to, which I think he will need to, given that B is on 61 workers and has dropped a 4th base and has Aspire about to finish uncontested, right? Bly isn't going for burrow and tunneling claws. He's not going out for a huge push. He's not hitting with the Nidus. He's not doing anything aggressive at this, because he just took too much damage from his initial push. And now this is Bly's game to lose, I think. Or, this is B's game to lose, I think. Look, guys. It's hard. It's hard when there's two players whose names start with this letter. I know. Shocking. It is open season on these overlords. Bly had so many spread around. He's gonna have to remake all these before he can make any Hydra at all. Bly's thrown down a few Spore Crawlers and going for a Nidus play. Finally. Not only that, it's going to be a successful Nidus play. I really like this from our Red Zerg. Rather than sitting back and building up Hydra very slowly over time. Or a critical mass of Queens with enough energy to engage the Muta. Has he overextended, though? There's no retreat for these Roaches right now. He's buying time at the front, while these guys ostensibly were supposed to pick off drones. They only got 4. So I think the trades went heavily in favor of 3DB. And they're going to go heavily in favor for him at the 3rd location as well. B's gotten his high-yield gas fort up and running. And this is just a ticking clock for Bly at this point. I think Bly is ultra super mega dead. B cleans house. There's not really an army to speak of for Bly. He has a lot of queens, I guess. He loads up another Nidus. Yeah, he's gonna side against that. Unload all his roaches. This is a last-ditch defense. Yeah, even drops creep so he can get a forward Spore Crawler. But that Spore Crawler isn't gonna matter at all. GG is called. In the bottom left corner of Zen as the Blue Zerg. It's Bly. And in the top right corner, victorious in map number 1. Here to try. Take map number 2. Look at these caster calls. I said we would see 3 bases in game number 1. We saw 3 bases. And it went to the road. I also said each of these players would pool first once in the series. If it goes to 3 games. What do we see from Bly? Why, nothing but a pool first. What am I doing? Goals. Look! B dropped a pool first. I'm right no matter what. Unbelievable. Hey, Amoxie. Good morning to you. Bly sends forth his harassmentlings. He's not actually going to get anything done with this. B has his own lings about to pop to defend. Natural. Bly is committing to this quite a bit, actually. He's going up to 10 lings. He's gonna pull part of the drone line to help fight, as well as his queen. And the worker count's gonna be even after all this. Both players are gonna have 2 bases. Trying to see what the differences are. Both players have 2. So this is essentially just like a hard reset on the game. Like this is, you might as well have both hatch first. B is going to take a third. Bly is down 5 workers. And I think it's too late for him to take a third. Yeah, he's gonna go for the wall off. Drops an eco chamber and a roach warren. Nice move, saving that drone from Bly. Eightlings are gonna pop for B. Bly's getting out a few more drones. Getting up a lair. And he's gonna start melee. Okay, that's a twist on things. I thought he was just gonna spam roaches, but apparently not. He did take this third outside of his main. You know, it's a very long way to get any ground units to that location whatsoever. From his natural. Both players are grabbing spires, but B has already kind of won the fight, I think, because his spire is just going to be so much earlier, which means he's going to have earlier muta, which means he should have a higher muta count when all is said and done. Bly is going for a massive +1 blood. I do like this because it's unexpected. I don't like this because, like, B is totally going to defend this. That was a nice hold position on the Lings. And I like that Bly tried to break through. This top section, when it was just these 5 Zerglings, like, very carefully spread out and hold positioned to plug the gap. These first muta have hit the field, begun the Overlord hunt, but B snuck out extra roaches, so he's going to have not the greatest muta count in the world, only 4, while Bly is committed much more heavily. He's up to 11 muta after these next 2 come out of their eggs. I think. Wait, he was making 9. Yeah, he did make 9. Okay. I did not speak incorrectly. Caster success! Bly will actually clean this up with minimal casualties. And he is even more trouble now. He's still ahead in the army supply, technically. But he's going to lose the Muta Wars. My prediction was entirely off, but I just didn't expect B to make the extra roaches that he did. Bly is getting out air carapace, whereas B getting out +1 air weapons. So in the skies, at least, these guys are just going to cancel out each other's upgrades effectively. B is unable to find any drone damage. His latest backstab. He is still a little bit ahead in workers, but Y already has a 4th. It is heavily oversaturated gas. B is not going to be able to finish. There's the cancel. And B is fighting more spread out with his Mutalist, so there's advantages and disadvantages to stacking your Muta, like what Bly is doing. Advantage! Your opponent is going to have a tougher time right-clicking down your Muta if they're stacked on top of each other, targeting down the low health Muta. Disadvantage. Glaive bounce. Every single glaive is connecting every single time. And gonna take a little bit extra damage. I thought B already got air carapace. Have I been scammed? No. Bly got air carapace. Okay. So both players are going after each other's initial upgrades. Bly's Muta are going to be more powerful quicker. By a slight margin. Five drones go down to the Ling run by. Let's double click. Well, this time it's B that's going to go for the stacked style. Bly lets his Muta spread out. And Bly will win the engagement. GG, well played is called. In the bottom right corner, as the blue Zerg, Bly. In the top left, as the red Zerg, it's 3DB. Scores 1-1 in the best of 3. Bly's pool will finish first. What's that gonna matter? Not at all. In fact, B is gonna have... Wait a minute. Oh, I have their position switched. Okay, yeah. Bly's gonna get out a few lings, a few good lings. Both players throw down their hatches. This is just mirror build orders. B is gonna have plenty to defend. These the lings moving across. And unless Bly pulls off a godlike engagement, B's gonna be just fine. Just absolute A-okay. Okay, that was a godlike engagement from Bly. B's trying to target down the low health link, but Bly is still trading evenly. Does have enough to trap this queen. He's trying to pull the queen out of position, but the queen trying to nestle against the hatchery area. Bly is a little bit scared to engage. I think if he wanted to engage, the right time to do so was a few seconds ago. Oh! B slides the drone to make a third right past Bly's Zerglings. Bly clearly wasn't paying attention, or he could have easily, it would have been a fraction of a second to turn around, kill the drone, and then go in and scout. But he missed his opportunity to do that. So B gets much earlier third than his opponent. If his opponent is planning on taking a third at all. And I don't think he's planning on taking a third. Slow march of the queens has begun. It's just going to be plain Jane Speedling. All in. 2 queens to back it up. Bly has to get damage done. He's down 5 workers. May not sound like a lot, but that's actually like something like 17% economy, I think. And Bly's not going to find any damage. He's actually... Fortunately, Bly doesn't have a Bane Nest yet. Just threw that down at the front. B is looking real good. He's real nice, real fine. Worker count has evened back up. Bly sees the lings of B. Oh, I thought he was gonna morph something. Thinks about going in. Banelings backs out. That was a lot of restraint from Bly to not detonate there. He still has some lings out on the map. He's going to use them to pick off a queen. Couple drones. At the third, Bly. And B is also finally moving out his roaches. He's developing +1 melee back at home. Meanwhile, Bly finished up his own roach warren. B's strike force has arrived, and it's going to do terrible, terrible damage until these roaches pop for Bly. No, actually, they're going to continue to deal terrible, terrible damage as these roaches pop. 2 of them are split off from the rest. They'll go down pretty much immediately. Both defensive spines are fine. He's forced to right-click it. Bly held wave number 1 of aggression, but wave number 2 is here to back up their comrades. Both players are engaging really well, but Bly just has the edge. Players are being made on sides of the map. Same time, B has a firm economic lead. B is like, I want no overlords on my property. Get out. He picks off 3 of them. 4, I think. Yeah, I think that was 4. B was briefly supply blocked. Didn't really affect too much. He's getting ready to pounce. I can feel it. He might not. He might play conservatively. Max out, actually. Bly's gonna have earlier +1 range. Bly is backed into a corner. B just has too much, I think. 7 drones have fallen here for the Blue Zerg as well. Bly is fighting to the last roach. But, this third is broken. GG is going to be called. And 3D... in the top right corner of Everdream, as the Red Zerg, it's B. In the bottom left, as the Blue Terran, it's Cure. There are church bells going absolutely mad, and I have no idea why. Like, I don't know what the occasion is. But, someone in a bell tower 2 blocks from me is just absolutely losing right now. Sorry if that bled into the microphone at all. Rather loud. Okay, Cure's going for a double proxy racks. He immediately scouted. because he put it directly in the normal path that an would scout. Be quite a few drones to deal with this immediately. Oh no, I thought he was going to get the SCV kill. Sure. Okay, he'll get one SCV kill. Second SCV escapes. Not going to be able to build a bunker anytime. Is it going to go all the way home? So this Marine push is already compromised for Cure. There's B's hatch. Cure's doing a lot with these 3 Marines, considering he doesn't have a bunker going. Oh man, he stutter stepped back and targeted individual lings. I don't think that was automatic. I think it was right-clicking to get the low health ones down. Different targets for each. If so, that's impressive. And it's going to pay off for Cure, automatic or not. As he has gunned down every single Zergling. He's also going to be supply blocked. Cure decides he's had enough of this. Float his barracks back home, both of them. He's not going to send them out for the scout. Sees that his 3rd location is clear. Now it is the 320 mark. This is late to take a 3rd in ZVT, but given how weird the opener was, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say weird, like, proxy 2 racks is a valid strategy, but given that the very aggressively, I think B is going to be fine taking this later 3rd match. Eddie is calling out the Matcherino. Make sure you guys put in MC 132. You've been enjoying the games today. Sure, these pro gamers would really appreciate benefits to the prize pool. I don't know who's actually winning here, to be honest. I don't think anyone's winning right now. I think it's... Banshee has started here. You have 2 Banshees? I don't think so. No, he does have 2 Banshees. Okay. So, 1 on the field, 1 in production. About to finish. Those are some toasty Hellion shots out of here.